Picture this. Rohan, a curious 17-year-old, stumbles upon a term he's never heard before, the dark web. It's a term that pops up in an online conversation, a term that piques his interest. So what does Rohan do? He does what any tech-savvy teenager would. He begins to research. He delves into articles, reads blogs, and watches videos, trying to understand this hidden part of the internet. His initial findings are intriguing. It's a world unlike anything he's ever come across. It's a universe lying beneath the everyday internet, a place where the sun doesn't shine and the laws of the land don't reach. It's a place shrouded in mystery, filled with stories of illicit activities and anonymous entities. Rohan's curiosity is piqued. He's a digital native, a child of the internet age. He's used to having information at his fingertips, to exploring new frontiers from the comfort of his room, so he decides to see for himself. He downloads Tor, the gateway to the dark web, and prepares himself for an adventure. The thrill of the unknown takes over as he fires up the browser. He's like an explorer venturing into uncharted territory. He's aware there could be dangers, but the thrill, the curiosity, the desire to know outweighs his fear. He types in his first search, and with a single click, he's in. He navigates through a labyrinth of unfamiliar sites, each click leading him deeper into the abyss. He's careful, conscious of the stories he's read about scams and traps. He's fascinated yet fearful, exhilarated yet anxious. He feels like Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole, entering a world beyond his wildest imagination. With every click, Rohan was venturing deeper into the dark web, oblivious to the potential dangers that lay ahead. Before we delve deeper into Rohan's journey, let's understand what he was getting into. When we talk about the internet, we often picture the surface web. This is the part of the internet that most of us interact with on a daily basis. It's where you find your favorite news sites, social media platforms, and online shops. It's the part of the web that's indexed and searchable by search engines like Google. But beneath the surface web lies the deep web. This isn't some sinister underworld, despite what the name might suggest. The deep web is simply the part of the internet that's not indexed by search engines. It includes things like your private emails, online banking details, and secure government databases. It's the place where your personal data is stored, away from the prying eyes of search engines. The deep web is vast, much larger than the surface web. In fact, the surface web is estimated to make up less than 10% of the total internet. The rest is the deep web, where information is kept secure and private. But here's where things get interesting. There's a small portion of the deep web, often confused with it, that's intentionally hidden and encrypted. This is the dark web, the part of the internet that Rohan found himself drawn to. It's a place where users can remain anonymous and activities can stay untraceable. Now, the terms deep web and dark web are often used interchangeably, but they're not the same thing. While the deep web is largely innocuous, containing mostly private data and legal documents, the dark web is where things can take a sinister turn. That's not to say everything on the dark web is illegal or dangerous, but it's certainly where such activities can and do take place. This distinction is crucial to understand as we follow Rohan's journey further into the depths of the dark web. The surface and deep web make up most of the internet we know, but it's the dark web that Rohan was drawn to, and that's where our story takes a turn. Rohan had heard tales of the dark web, a place where anonymity reigned and anything could be bought for a price. A realm hidden from the everyday internet user, the dark web is a portion of the internet that is intentionally concealed. It's like an iceberg, where most of it lies unseen beneath the surface. The dark web was born out of a desire for privacy and freedom. It was initially developed by the United States military to allow for secure, encrypted communication. Over time, however, it evolved into a haven for all things illicit. This shadowy corner of the internet is a marketplace for the forbidden. Drugs, counterfeit money, stolen data, weapons, you name it, and it's probably there. It's like a Pandora's box, teeming with secrets that most of us would rather not know. And yet, like Rohan, many are drawn to it, intrigued by its reputation and the promise of untold secrets. Curiosity, after all, is a powerful motivator. Accessing the dark web isn't as simple as typing in a URL on your browser. Special software is required, the most common of which is Tor, or the Onion Router. This software allows users to access the dark web while maintaining their anonymity, bouncing their connection around different servers worldwide to mask their true location. So, what makes the dark web so attractive? For some, it's the thrill of the forbidden, the lure of the unknown. For others, it's about necessity, a way to bypass censorship or surveillance. But for many, it's about the promise of anonymity, a place where they can be invisible, untraceable. But this anonymity comes at a price. The dark web is a dangerous place, a lawless frontier where the rules of the surface web do not apply. It's a place where you can easily lose yourself, drawn into a world that can change you, and not always for the better. The dark web was a whole new world for Rohan, a world cloaked in secrecy and danger, just as it is for many others who dare to venture into its shadowy depths. As Rohan delved deeper into the dark web, he began to realize that it was not just a place for thrill seekers. It was a marketplace, a hub for transactions, a haven for criminals. It was a place where illicit trades were conducted with alarming regularity and a chilling efficiency. The dark web, cloaked in anonymity, hosts a plethora of criminal activities. It's an underworld where drugs, human organs, weapons, and even body parts are sold. And it's not just physical goods. Digital contraband, like stolen data, is also a hot commodity. The pricing of these illegal goods and services is dictated by risk, difficulty, and demand. A packet of illicit drugs might cost less than a stolen credit card number simply because digital theft carries less risk than physical smuggling. Transactions on the dark web are usually conducted in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. This form of digital currency, decentralized and difficult to trace, is the ideal medium of exchange for those wishing to operate under the radar. But it's not just about buying and selling. The dark web is also a breeding ground for hackers. Here, they exchange tips and tricks, sell malicious software, and even offer hacking services for a price. It's a cybercriminal's paradise where the law is often powerless to intervene. Rohan also discovered that the dark web operates like any other market. There are buyer reviews, seller ratings, and even customer service. This semblance of normalcy, Rohan found, was the most disturbing aspect of the dark web. But the dark web is not invincible. Law enforcement agencies around the world are tightening their grip on these hidden corners of the internet. With every passing day, they're getting better at tracing transactions, uncovering identities, and bringing criminals to justice. Rohan was beginning to understand the true nature of the dark web, a place where the worst of humanity could be found. And yet he also knew that understanding this dark place was the first step towards shining a light on it, and perhaps one day helping to eradicate the crimes that take place there. While the dark web is infamous for its illegal activities, it also serves some legitimate purposes. Right off the bat, it's essential to understand that the dark web is not inherently evil. Yes, it's a place where illicit activities can thrive due to the anonymity it provides, but this very feature also makes it a beacon of hope for those living under oppressive regimes where freedom of speech is a distant dream. Let's take a closer look. Imagine living in a country where your every move online is monitored, where certain websites are blocked, and expressing dissenting views could land you in serious trouble. This is a reality for many people across the globe. For them, the dark web provides a means to circumvent censorship, to access blocked content, and to express their views without fear of reprisal. Moreover, the dark web can serve as a platform for whistleblowers, those brave individuals who risk their careers and sometimes even their lives to expose corruption, injustice, and wrongdoing. Remember Edward Snowden and the NSA scandal? The documents were leaked on a dark web platform because it offered the anonymity and security Snowden needed. And it's not just about big, world-changing leaks. Everyday citizens might use the dark web to report local corruption or corporate malfeasance, safe in the knowledge that their identities will remain concealed. Then there's the matter of privacy. In an age where our every click is tracked and monetized, where data breaches seem to be a regular occurrence, some people turn to the dark web for a more private browsing experience. Search engines like DuckDuckGo, which do not track users or sell their data, operate on the dark web. There's also a community of tech enthusiasts and cyberpunks who use the dark web to experiment with new technologies and crypto systems to push the boundaries of what's possible in the realm of digital privacy and security. So, is the dark web a den of iniquity? Yes, parts of it are, but it's also much more than that. As Rohan discovered, the dark web is a complex and multifaceted part of the internet, a place of